Hi everyone, I'm Adele and welcome back to a new episode of the Yarn Creations podcast. It is summer here in Pretoria in South Africa, and January and February are usually our hottest months. So I'm not wearing any knitwear today. So nothing to show you in that regards. But I do have a few projects that I would love to share with you. This is the first episode of 2023. I hope your year has been good so far and that it will stay that way. And if it hasn't been, I hope it will get better. So let's just get right to it. There's not a lot. I'm trying to keep it all low key and to a minimum, but I would like to share what I have with you. I've got one finished. Oh, and before I start, if you are interested in a giveaway, please watch up to the end. So, okay, my only finished object so far for this year is the Purl pouch that I made while I was on holiday. I initially had different cords for that I attached to the pouch when I was on holiday, because I forgot to take any solid colors with me. So I replaced the variegated or colored cords with solid color cords, and I like that much better. So this pattern is by Tori Yu. It's the Purl pouch. And there is 3 sizes. I made the biggest size. My gauge was a little bit smaller than the gauge on the pattern, so I added a few extra stitches. I used 2 strands of Opal sock yarn, all out of my stash, and so I held the 2 strands together throughout. And here you can see I went for there's 2 options for the edging here. I went for the picot edging. And it's a very nice big bag. And the drawstrings works very well. Just want to show you the neat bottom. So my combo that I used for the body was all used up, so I just used another combo for the bottom. It's a pity that nobody actually sees that. And the eye cords, for that I didn't knit them. I used my little eye cord knitter that I bought from Colors of Amalfi. It's a Tulip eye cord knitter, and it works brilliantly. It's got a little weight, and there's instructions for how you get started, and then you can just knit, and it goes so fast and it's so much fun. I want to do much more of them and see what I can use it for. Maybe weave with it or make something else with it. But I do love my little eye cord knitter because I'm not overly fond of knitting eye cords. So yes, I'm happy. It's nice and big, and I want to make some more of these. And while I'm at it, inside I've got, I don't know if this is also maybe a finished, counts as FOs, but I'm not done with all of them. I'm just plying some yarn with my, I've got an Ashford E spinner, electric spinner. It's a wonderful, wonderful little toy. I'm not really a spinner, but I love to ply yarn. So this is 3 that I've got so far. So what I'm using for this is, I've got a few of, this is Oneofakind Yarns buttons in a thin lace weight bamboo that Marlene made, dyed up years ago. So it's a lace weight bamboo in a long color change yarn. And with that, I'm using all solid colors Cowgirlblues lace, so the merino lace. So I'm combining bamboo and merino. I think it's doable. I think it's usable. So I'm just having fun. So I will probably start in the middle. I always start in the middle. And I think, I'm not sure if this will be enough for this one, but if my lace is not enough, I will just add that one. So I think, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it. But at the end, I will have 6, I think 6 or 8. I think I will have 8 of these. I'm not sure. I haven't weighed them yet. Let's quickly see if I can get it. I've got this little pocket scale here. Let's see, just for interest's sake. About 80, between 80 and 85 grams a skein. So I will have quite a few, and maybe I can use it for color work or one of Andrea Maury's nice patterns. I haven't got a plan with it yet. At the moment, I'm just enjoying plying these 2 yarns together. So I just added them all because this is quite big. So just to give it some structure. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to line it because it's maybe a lining will make it more stable. I'm sure it will. But I'm not sure yet if I want to do that. I think I will just have to take care when I put this away, when I don't use it. Maybe put it in a plastic bag. I can't just put it in the drawer with my other bags because it's wool. It will be eaten. So I will have to put it in a Ziploc bag if I don't use it. But yes, love my Purl pouch. And I think it will make nice gifts. I want to make the other sizes as well. And it's a nice stash busting project. So that's the only finished object I have. And then regarding my works in progress, I've got 4. Yes, I've got 4 that I want to share with you. That's all that I have at the moment that I'm working on. I've still got 3 that came from last year, 2 blankets, the Fair Isle blanket and my Ripple crochet blanket, and then I've got that the scrappy cardi that will have to wait for cooler weather because it's a merino twist held together with a mohair, and it's, as I showed you I think 2 episodes ago, it's getting quite big and it's a bit hot to work on that at the moment. So when I was on holiday, I needed a small project for, especially when I was in the plane, and I found this a very enjoyable project for on the airport and in the plane and when we were just sitting somewhere. Oh, that is not so bright in real life. I can assure you that. But can you see how it pulls there? Because I'm using a black or a very dark charcoal yarn. I've got a yarn cozy around it from Little Twisted, because while traveling, these yarn cakes can very quickly get all tangled up, and the variegated I just want to take out of the yarn cozy to show you. It's both merino singles, but it's definitely not that bright, this pooling effect in real life. It's amazing how the camera can just blow up everything. So I don't know, should I keep going or should I frog it? When I look at it like this, it's not bad, but on the camera it looks very weird. So it's just mosaic knitting all the way. It's just the two patterns that you repeat. I was thinking, or maybe I would try that, is to maybe make this part shorter and then this part longer, because you don't see the pooling in this part, but you do see it in this part. So maybe I should just make this shorter pieces. What do you think? What should I do? And if you wear it, I'm sure it will not be that visible. I'm using 3.5 Tulip bamboo needles. It's easy to travel with them, and I always use my needle protectors. This is from Knit Pro. You can buy it also from Colours of Amalfi. When I travel, I always put my needles inside this needle protector. So the bamboo, I take my whole set in my carry-on bag, and I've never had any problems or issues. And you put it through that little, there's like a slit there, and you put it through there, and then your needles is protected and it can't get damaged when you just stuff it into your bag. I just want to show you the picture. It's the Prismarine scarf. And the designer is Alena Appasova. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. All the info will, as always, be in the description. Just click on the more, on the word more. There will definitely be names, not necessarily always links, but definitely names and details of the pattern and the designer. So that is the one whip, my first whip, and this is I'm not sure how often I'm going to work on this when I'm at home, because this is a very nice project when I'm just sitting with friends and knitting, or in a car or traveling or whatever. So this is actually my on-the-go project. This is a very, very old bag from Brilliant Mummy. She doesn't make bags anymore, but I think this is the very first one that I bought, or the second one, the first or the second one that I bought, and it's still very much loved and used a lot. And then the second project is one that I did show you. I just started it last. Is the Raglan sweater I'm knitting. It's just my starting end there. So when I block this, the ribbing will lie flat. It's not a very long ribbing, because I want this to be a in between a sweater that I can wear on its own. So I'm going to give it a 3/4 sleeve, I think. So the body is done. A-line as always. Little bit of a split hem. Not a very, not a huge amount of ribbing. This is my own Ladybird progress marker that I kept from a charm bracelet that I'm not wearing anymore. So it's just the sleeves. So at the moment it's a little bit too hot to have this whole sweater on my lap. So I think I might wait a little bit before I start with the sleeves. For it's very hot and humid at the moment, so it's not very comfortable. Although this is very, very light and airy, it's still a hot piece of a garment, hot, almost a whole garment lying on your lap while you're on knitting. And this time I did remember to bring the label. It's a Purl Soho linen quill, and it's 50% fine Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen. So it's very light and airy, and this color is called Dark Iris. I very much enjoy knitting with this yarn. And then with this, I'm using the John Arbon Alpaca Delight for the stripes. Not sure if they make this anymore. I've had this in my stash for quite a few years. And I did show you all the colors last time, not going to take them out again. So it's the natural, like a lilac and a light pink and a blue and a grey. So that is what I'm using for the stripes. I started with, it's 2-row stripes. So I started with 10 rows of the linen quill and a 2-row stripe. And then when I started with the body, I did 8 rows linen quill and a 2-row stripe, and I repeated that sequence twice. And then right at the bottom I went to 6 rows linen quill and then the 2-row stripes, just to get through the sequence once more. Otherwise it will, I like my sweaters long, but not for an in-between garment. I don't want it too long. So it worked out with the 6 rows in between for the last sequence. So I kept the, I didn't do random, I kept the order exactly the same. At the end, I felt that maybe that is easier, because I tend to make things a little bit difficult for myself sometimes. So this is I've still got another one. So this is what I've got left of the second one. I've got another one so I will divide this when I start the sleeves, and then use the third skein to complete the sleeves with. So that is just my raglan, no pattern, as I said last time, just with short rows and ribbing, 1 by 1 ribbing, and a knit front back for the raglan increases, and that gives you a very nice sharp corner here. And my ends are all, the ends are all knitted in. I haven't trimmed any of them yet, but they are all knitted in, so I don't have a million ends to weave in. And I don't think the jog is really an issue. Sometimes I remember to slip the stitch, and sometimes I forgot. So that is the second project I'm busy with. The third one is, I'll first show you the crochet project. This is, I'm crocheting 1 square a day, granny square, and it's a 10 row granny square that I'm crocheting. All different colors. So I'm using the South African sock yarn base. It's a 75 merino, 25 nylon. It's got 366 meters on 100 gram, and I'm using a where is my, oh, here it is. I'm using a 3.25 clover crochet hook. Just I've also got the tulip ones, but this is just the first one that that I grabbed when I started this. I do still like my clover. I don't have a lot of the clover crochet hooks, but I do still love them. Uh, the hook is almost the same as the tulip. The grip is a little bit different, but the smaller sizes of the clover crochet hook still work for my, I've got a knife grip. So I do 1 square a day. I turn every round, and I'm following a tutorial by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. That's on the Patreon page. They've got hundreds of tutorials on their Patreon. So this is just one of them. It's a very, very neat square with neat corners. No, you don't see any joins. So I do like this. Oh, wait, I'm not sure if, I think she said she's not the first one doing this tutorial, but because I knew she had one on the Patreon page, I just went there and followed that one. So yes, I'm enjoying this. I like how this 75-25 crochets. It's nice to crochet with it, and it's very neat. I find it crochets very neatly. So I've still got this one that I'm going to use. I'm not going to knit socks with all these yarns. I think this is definitely a Knottyhabit queso, and I think it's one of the very, very first ones that I bought when Mincy started dyeing up the 75-25. This is one of the very first skeins that she dyed up. So it's special, and I don't mind if it's not socks. It will still be special because it will be in this blanket. And this is one from Loopy number 6. I did use a little bit of this in socks, in scrappy, stripy socks that I did. But I think the rest will just go into, I've got one of them already. The camera makes everything a little bit brighter than it really is. But I'm not sure what to do about that. I don't even have any lights on, it's just natural light. So that is my square a day. If there's a day that I can't get to crocheting my square, it's fine. But I do like to crochet, to have something to crochet at least for half an hour a day. And this is just perfect for that. I think it takes me a little bit more than half an hour. I haven't timed myself. It will be interesting to see how long it takes to crochet one of these squares. I must remember maybe today. I haven't done mine for today. So maybe I will remember to time myself, and then I can tell you next time. And then the last project that I'm busy with is the Burra cowl that I told you last time, is that quite a few podcasters are having a cowl, a knit along for the Burra cowl. Knits and Pieces have one for all Marie Wallin items. PJ Knits have it for just the Burra cowl. It's a pattern by Marie Wallin. This is not a very good picture, but there you can see it. It looks okay. When I look up closely, it's a little bit blurred. Lovely Georgia that got married last year, and if my info is correct, I think this is Marie's daughter, and she has been modeling all her items, all her knitted patterns from almost the very beginning. So here is what I have so far. Let's see. Once again, it's not that bright in real life. So I was up to here. I did a provisional cast on. I will link to a video by Arnold and Colourtheme. I'm not sure what their name is. A very nice video for how to do the crochet cast on, and how to then do the grafting afterwards. So I did a provisional cast on and I knit up to there, and then I didn't like how the colors was working together, and I frocked everything and I started over. And it's quite addicting to get the colors to work with each other, because I don't know, it's not possible to show you here exactly, but she's got a dark, yeah, she's got in that cross, the first part of the chart, she's got very dark stripes in that cross or chart of the cross. And I'm not particularly fond of that. That's why I also left that out of my lovage. So I decided to make it just one color. I actually use two colors here in the background, and they are so similar that I think I can just as well use only one. So for the next chart and the next repeat, I might do this a little bit different and maybe use a different color as well. I'm just going to play with different combinations of colors. And I'm doing this on a 100 centimeter cord, Tulip 3.25. And how I do that is I just pull my cord completely, so it's not a magic loop with a loop at this side as well. So I just pull it out completely and then put my needle in, and then put the cord in the front, keep it like that with my thumb, and then I start knitting, and then I go all around for this round, and then I pull it out completely once again and start knitting the next round. And that is, for me, knits up more comfortably than a small circumference needle. I just find it easier on my hands. So my colors are quite different from the colors that Marie is using because she's using I think Jameson and Smith Spindrift. I'm not do I have the pattern here somewhere? I'm using one of these magnetic boards. I think you can buy them from Scarpy online. And just with any magnetic ruler. I've got one from my smaller board, my Crochet for Cancer smaller board, and that's a very nice ruler, sticky ruler. And then I put that above the row that I'm knitting. so that you can see what has happened below and what you are knitting then according to what was done in the previous rows. So she is using, yeah, Jameson's of Shetland Spindrift in 11 colors. So I don't have that, and it's a little bit, I'm a bit unsure that we do have the Jameson and Smith, you can buy that at Arthur Bales, but I'm not sure if that might be a little bit too itchy for a cowl. I'm not sure if I want to use that for a cowl. So I'm using my precious stash of John Arbon. First time I'm using them, and I've bought them over a time, 2 or 3 years. Every time I see a nice color or whatever, or I visit the Stoepmark or whatever, then I buy one of them, and this is the colors that I have. I've got 2 different blends. The one is the Harvest Hues, that's 65% Falkland Merino, 15% Swartbles of Exmoor, and yeah, no, sorry, 65% Merino and 35% Swartbles. Swartbles is easy for us Afrikaans speaking people to pronounce because it's a Dutch sheep that is now also breeded in England. So that's why I think English speaking people or American speaking Americans find it a little bit difficult to pronounce the word or say the word, but because it's Dutch, it's easy for Afrikaans speaking people to say Swartbles. So this is the Harvest Hues, beautiful colors, beautiful rich colors. So Wallin's got in the Burra cowl, there's also lighter colors. So I've got a problem with that because the Harvest Hues doesn't make light colors. The lightest one I think is the barley. So I can use those 2 together, and that is what I did use here together. So there's enough contrast, but it's very interesting if you hold the cakes next to each other, you think that there's enough contrast, and then even for rows, different rows following on each other, you think that there will be enough contrast, and then when you knit with them, there's no contrast at all, because the 2 colors that I showed you is the 2 colors that I used here for the background, and you can't see, I don't know if you can see a difference. So it's very interesting to knit with these yarns. So this for me is actually a very big swatch to play with these yarns. So it's the first time I'm knitting with them. I worked very hard over the weekend and caked them all up. And now I'm just playing with the different combos with what I have. I don't really want to buy, if I can find maybe John Arbon that's a little bit lighter in the fingering, because this is all a fingering yarn, then I might buy 1 or 2 lighter colors. I've got the other base I'm using is the Devonia. So I've got 1 or 2 lighter ones in the Devonia. And this is 50% Exmoor Blueface, 30% Blueface Leicester, and 20% Wensleydale, 100% Devon wool. And all these yarns are made in the UK by John Arbon, by the John Arbon Mill. So yes, I don't know, maybe I can visit Colours of Amalfi and see if they've got more lighter colors in the Devonia. Although it's got a few meters less. It's got 388 meters, and the Harvest Hues has 400 meters on 100 grams. The Devonia feels thinner, and it knits up a little bit thinner than the Harvest Hues, but they do work well together. Look at those two colors together. It's just such a it brings me joy to work with these yarns. So I'm really enjoying trying to challenge myself to find colors that will work well together with what I have. This is what I have, and this is what I'm using. So and I think I'm happy. I might change it up a little bit. I'm almost done with the first repeat. You have to do 4 repeats, and some people say that 4 repeats is a bit too big, but I think for our weather 4 repeats might be fine, so that it's not too close to my neck and too hot, because this will be quite a warm cowl. So if it's a little bit looser around my neck, I think it will be fine. So I think I'm going to go for the 4 repeats on this one and just play with different combos. So I don't think I'm going to keep this the same. I'm not sure. I don't think there's anything else I wanted to say about this. I think, yeah, so the Burra cowl, so there's, I think every podcasting channel has their own hashtag. It's quite a few names. I'm not going to name them all, but as I said last time, it's PJ Knits, and I think you can also use the hashtag Burra Cowl 2023. And then I think I can maybe also add this to Nikki from Knitting with Cathair's another year of Marie Wallin make along. I think I can add it to that hashtag as well. So I think that is that for my projects, and I'm going to keep it. I'm very tempted to cast on, but I think I'm not going to. Yes, I'm going to try and behave myself for a while at least, and see how it goes. So regarding the giveaway, I don't know if you remember this cowl that I did for a class that I gave last year for an easy color work cowl. I used Karoo Moon for the background, and then Madonna by Cowgirlblues for the accent, the little spots. And last year when we went to the yarn retreat, in the goodie bags was Isabel was so kind to make a little pattern card for the easy color work cowl, and that was also in everyone's goodie bag. So I've got this one left for the pattern, and then Cowgirlblues Bridget was so kind. Just 1 second, sorry. Okay. Bridget was so kind to give me 2 skeins of her DK, Cowgirlblues Merino DK, for a giveaway to knit this cowl. So I will add this little pattern card, and this is then the 2 colors that will also be in the giveaway. They don't have names. I think it was once off colors that she sent to me, and on the one actually is there stands wrong color. So I was tempted to take the ball band off the skein, but then maybe that will look funny as well. So this is not part of her color range. This is just ones of colors, or I think maybe colors that didn't, um, so yeah, that didn't make the cut for a colorway. So I will then, I will happily then give this to someone. So I think if you just put in your comments the words, just tell me if you would like to win the kit or the two skeins of yarn. Just maybe say easy color work cowl. I will also put that in the description below, easy color work cowl, and then I will have a draw for someone. And unfortunately, this can only be for local South African viewers. I'm sorry about that, but the courier costs are just, it's just ridiculous. I'm sorry, but yes, when I do gift a pattern, then it's obviously open for everyone, like I did for the Stella shawl and the what was the other one by Mariana Miller? I can't remember the name now. Tropical Sunset. Then it's open worldwide if I gift a pattern that I buy from Ravelry. But for this, sorry, but I can only send this to someone in South Africa. So, or if you know someone in South Africa that I can send this to, that will obviously also be fine. So please then just say in your comment, easy color work cowl, and then I will draw a name for before the, I will give it at least say 3 weeks. So just before I make another episode, I will draw a name. Okay, so I think then that is everything. Yes, I think it's everything. So I will hopefully see you next month again. I think it's a good pace for me to try and do an episode once a month. It works well for me, and then I've got something to show for that. That gives me time to work on something and show you some progress. So have a good rest of January, and then I will see you for the next one in 3 weeks to a month's time. Goodbye.